Liverpool when it comes to the title race, though. They won at the weekend. Could have conceded some goals. Still looking a little bit vulnerable on that counter-attack, but they ended up, Alisson stepped up and Brentford really did miss some good chances. But Lewis, when you look at them, you've obviously gone toe-to-toe with them before. Are you as worried now about Liverpool as you have been in years gone by, or do you still think there's a little bit of a soft centre there?
I think they're not quite as the same as they were, but yeah, I always fear Liverpool, man. You know what I mean? With Jurgen Klopp, he's a top manager. He knows what he's doing. And Salah, he's that guy's just a choker. I mean, he just gets goals and assists every game he plays. He's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, of course, for me, at the start of the season, I was asked, who do I think is City's biggest rivals for the Prem? I said Liverpool. You know what I mean? I have flip-flopped on it a few times, but Liverpool was the one. I think when you've got Klopp as your manager, they've revitalised that midfield. Yes, they still need a defensive player. And you've got Salah, who's one of the best right wingers this country's ever seen. They're always going to be dangerous. The thing for me is with them is, I know you can say it's about any team, right? But if they do lose Salah, I do think that they go down a few levels just because of how good he is. But yeah, now 100%. And if they spend money in January, then 100% they're going to be up there till the end. So yeah, listen, I think it's going to be close. I've said all season, I don't think anyone's going to necessarily run away with it. But yeah, I think Liverpool under Klopp, they're always going to be dangerous. And they've done it to City. They've won the Champions League. They won the Prem. They've been there and done it. So you have to give them respect for that.
Definitely. A player for me, though, I think is absolutely back to his best now. Virgil van Dijk. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that, but he just looks solid. Everything looks like it's back to where it was pre the knee injury. What was that, 3 years ago now, Don? And that's going to help Liverpool massively.
100%, man. He's looking solid right now. And I was even speaking to Monts about this yesterday. I asked him, I said, do you think that the reason why he's playing like this now is the fact that he's got over that mental block of that injury? Because when you get a big injury like that in football, bro, there's certain things that you don't want to do. Like you don't want to make certain movements because you feel like your knee's going to go. You don't want to run as fast as what you're running before because you feel like that's going to go. So maybe now he's kind of got over that mental obstacle and just said, you know what, I'm fit again. I can play. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's looking like to me. He's looking confident again in his ability. So yeah, man, he's been solid. He's been up there. Him and Saliba have been the best centre back so far this season.
I feel like almost after every Liverpool game we say, oh, they still looked a bit shaky at the back, like they were giving up chances, but they've got the joint best defensive record in the league, and I think that is almost entirely down to Van Dijk and Alisson, who are just world class, because you can get at them, but it's just that final bit where you've got to get through Van Dijk and Alisson, and they can't quite do it.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why you've seen over the past couple of weeks, Liverpool been a bit more defensively solid, because at the start of the season, when you saw them starting out, I think the main problems with their defense has been the partner to Van Dijk, whether it's Konate, whether it's Matip, whether it's Gomez. That partner always seems to just be a little bit off his level. And I mean, they have bad, I'd say, for me, like Konate, for example, he steps out far too often. And when he does step out, he loses challenges, or he gives away fouls, which he doesn't need to give away. And it sort of breaks down Liverpool's play and the way that they build up. So for me, VVD's definitely been getting back to his best. Not what we all want to see, to be honest, because he's pushing on. And I personally thought, I'm not going to lie, last season I did say, look, this is the end of Van Dijk, man. We've seen the best of him, but he's coming back, and yeah, you can't deny it.
Yeah, he's having a renaissance. I didn't know, because it took him so long. And it was, 3 seasons, and he weren't back at his best. You just think, well, at his age, he had the injury. He's had enough time to recover, and he hasn't got back to his best. You just thought, that's him now. That's him done. And he's having a renaissance. He's looking excellent, and he has adjusted. And I think that the subtle changes to what Klopp has made to the team, with Trent inverting a little bit more, has helped. There's more energy now in the midfield. So they don't have the DM. But one of the biggest issues that Liverpool made as a club collectively was Henderson aging out and staying in the team. And Gini Wijnaldum was never replaced. They lost their legs in the middle, which we all know, when you've got a soft middle, when you're being run through, it's going to pull your defense. And as Van Dijk's got older, with the knee injury, he's being asked to do even more physical things, and he wasn't able to do it. Now they've got energy in that midfield again. Trent's inverting, and they're covering his position defensively, which means you're not being exposed as regularly. All those things are probably helping Van Dijk, and you're now getting the very best out of him again. And this is the thing where Klopp earns his money. He's one of the best managers in the world. He's adapted. And when it looked as though he wasn't going to adapt, when you got to maybe January, February last year, and you thought, well, if he just keeps playing like this now, his team are going to keep regressing. But fair play to Jurgen Klopp. And this is why I'm sorry to have another pop at it isn't actually at Big Ange, it's the gaslighting around him. This whole, you never rest on your laurels, you never change things, you never adapt. The greatest managers of all time adapt to what they have and the aging of their players and who they can bring in and injury problems. The idea that you shouldn't do it is crazy. Pep does it, Fergie did it, Clough did it, Paisley does it. You know, all these great managers, Jose, all these guys in their pomp did it. So the idea that you don't is crazy. And I think that's what really helped get the very best out of Virgil van Dijk. I still think they've got to buy another centre-back because I'm not convinced on Konate. I'm not convinced. Gomez, no, none of them want him to be their main centre-back moving forward. And Matip's aging out as well. And I still think they need a DM. Although I did think Endo actually had a decent game yesterday compared to what he did in the Europa League. But the front line of Liverpool is what looks dangerous. You know, and Darwin's just always in the right place. And he had a great game yesterday. He didn't score. But, you know, that I do still think Darwin's going to click into gear at some point. And when he starts scoring even more goals, takes that little bit of burden off of Mo Salah that can't stop scoring. Yeah, they're definitely in the title race for me. I don't think City are still my favourites to win it. But, yeah, Liverpool and Klopp have proven it.
Yeah, Terry, do you think that what you've seen from Liverpool so far, you think they can finish above Arsenal? You think they can finish second? Because their attack, I know you just mentioned it, their attack is frightening, mate. You know what I mean? That Darwin Núñez in behind, I know he can be a bit of a donkey at times, but he's a good player. And like I said, Salah, you've got Diaz on the other side, you've got Gakpo floating around, even the boy Jota, I think he's a good player as well. And then obviously you got the players in midfield. I don't know, man. I just think at the start of the season, we all kind of just went, oh, they didn't get a DM, they won't be good enough. But now you're starting to look at it and you think, maybe they'll get away with it. You know what I mean? Especially with Van Dijk coming back into it and Salah and Núñez doing well.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think in terms of making top four, yes, I said that at when they didn't get the DM, they'll still make the top four. Can they finish in front of Arsenal? Yes. They both conceded the same amount of goals. I think it is 10 goals. I think they both conceded. The one difference between the two sides over the 12 games I've watched is Liverpool seem to me to concede more opportunities and it opened up a little bit more, which is the only reason why I don't think they'll win the league. Just over a 38-game period, you're just going to drop just too many points to win it. But I believe they're a player or two away from being able to win the Premier League again. I don't think they're that far away. It's a player or two. With Arsenal, I just don't think Arsenal have even got into their top gear yet this season, where Liverpool may at times have already shown probably the best that they can be. And that's still a very high level. So I still think Arsenal have got a level to go up. And if I was to predict the table now for the top three, it would be City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. But narrow points difference between everybody. Maradon the moron here, we call him that because he says weird things. Terry Konate is better than all the centre-backs at United. Again, that's irrelevant to me saying I'm convinced that he can replace Virgil van Dijk and be a world-class centre-back that wins you Premier Leagues. It's them being better than, again, this is micro-penis competition. Let's just live in your world of all our centre-backs are rubbish. Him being better than them, how does that help you? Mate, come on, Maradon, stop. I know, listen, get out your mum's basement, get off the tit milk, and touch some grass, brother. Come on, my friend. Thank you. I love you, though, Maradon. I love you, bro. You try every week. You try. Do you know what? One day I'm going to read out one of your comments and pretend you've got me because I think that will. Honestly, I think you'll print the screenshot and stick it on the fridge at home. Mummy, I'm 38. Look what I did. I know that's what you're going to do, Maradon, my bro. I know it. He's going to do it. He is going to do it. Liverpool has scored one more goal than Arsenal. True. But yeah, I mean that's yeah. I mean, and even then, who are the top goal scorers? City, right, on 32 goals, 5 goals behind City. Yeah, Liverpool score goals, Arsenal score goals. I think that's why the Arsenal criticism is weird to me because although they haven't been as eye-catching as last year, still scored 26 goals. You know, it's, and I still don't think they're at the level yet.